What's up everyone? It's Alex. Continental GT or Interceptor? Which one's for you? So we do a lot of content on this channel about Royal Enfield 650s in general. It seems a lot of people have questions on them, want to know about reliability, want to know how happy I've been with mine. Just a lot of topics about it because it's kind of a newer motorcycle and they're a really reasonable price. So I think a lot of people look at them and are trying to figure out whether it's going to be a good bike for them. I think one thing that I might need to talk about just a little bit more is the two basic varieties of Royal Enfield 650, that being the Continental GT 650, which I have, and the Interceptor 650, or INT 650 in the US, since Honda owns the trademark to Interceptor in the US for motorcycles. So I want to do just a quick, concise video that is just about the Continental GT versus the Interceptor, the key small differences, and which one probably would be right for you based on your style of riding and your needs. So in essence, the Royal Enfield Continental GT 650 and Interceptor 650 are basically the same motorcycle when it comes to frame, engine, transmission. All of those things are the same. So performance-wise, they're going to put out the same numbers. Handling-wise, they're going to be very, very similar, minus the differences you experience for ergonomics, which we're going to get into. And overall styling, they are both classic type of motorcycles. So they both have a retro styling to them. So with the Continental GT and the Interceptor 650, the differences for you and which one is going to work for you is purely going to come down to the overall seating position and rider setup. Where the motorcycle puts you as far as a rider position goes and what is comfortable to you for your riding style. The 650 Interceptor is a classic standard seating position upright motorcycle. It is almost the definition of a retro standard motorcycle. 650cc-ish parallel twin motor, upright handlebars, very neutral foot peg position, very flat bench style seat on it, very, very, very all around neutral motorcycle. Not very laid back, not very aggressive in positioning, very, very neutral. This is a very, very comfortable seating position for the majority of riders. You sit straight up, your arms are straight out in front of you, almost like this, in a very kind of relaxed position. It's very, very neutral, very easy. A lot of people find this position better for handling characteristics just because the way you're sitting, you tend to have a little bit more control over the motorcycle in a neutral sense. And I think it's a very, very good riding position for newer riders as well, because it kind of helps you get used to everything without being laid way back or all crunched up like a pretzel. Continental GT is set up like a cafe racer style motorcycle, very similar to a Triumph Thruxton. So it has the same kind of a retro styling feel to it, but they've done lower, more aggressive clip-on style bars. And it's got a different foot peg position, and it has a different tank on it, much more indicative of a more tucked in sporty riding position with your feet up more, your knees up more, and your arms down in a little bit more of an aggressive riding position. For a lot of people, this is going to be not as comfortable. You are going to be leaned over a little bit more. You're going to put more weight on your elbows and your wrists and your shoulders because you're leaned down and putting weight and pressure on those areas. Your feet are going to be up higher, so for some people this will give you aches and stiffness and problems in your knees and in your hips because of the different angle of your legs. And for a lot of newer riders, this is not as easy of a position for handling, etc., because it just, due to the geometry and the way your body is, it just handles different. Now, for me, I prefer this riding position. I grew up on and came up on sport bikes, etc. So this is actually a more natural position for me, for my body type and the way that I'm built. This position is very comfortable for me. I find that it handles well. This is how I prefer to ride at this point. But for most people, that's not going to be the case. When I was selling these, I sold 5-to-1 Interceptors over Continental GTs because of the difference in the riding position. So if you're a newer rider, or if you're used to riding more standard type motorcycles or more laid back motorcycles or old school stuff, you're going to like the Interceptor a whole lot more. It's going to be more comfortable for most people. It's going to feel like it handles better for most people because of how tall the bars are in comparison and just the way that you're sitting on it. If you're coming off of sport bikes, or you like cafe racers, you've had them before, or you just do better in a little bit more compact tuck-in of situation. You might like the GT better, like I do. Like I've said before, at the end of the day, if you're looking at either of these motorcycles, you need to just go find a place where you can sit on them next to each other. You're gonna know very, very quickly which one is more comfortable to you, and whichever one is more comfortable to you, that is definitely the one that you want to go with, because if you're comfortable, you're gonna enjoy riding more, you're gonna ride it more, you're gonna get experience with it. These are all good things. We build our skills, we build our seat time, and we enjoy the motorcycling life, because that's what it's all about. It's all about our enjoyment of motorcycling. It doesn't really matter what motorcycle you're on. If you like riding it, that is the only thing that matters. It doesn't matter what it is. So I hope that's cleared up some. That's really all there is to the Interceptor versus the Continental GT. They just sit different, have different positions. Yeah, they have a different tank on them, so that makes the looks a little bit different, but it mostly just comes down to the seating position on it. And for probably 8 out of 10 of you, the Interceptor 650 is going to be the motorcycle you are going to be comfortable on and like more. But for those of you out there who are weirdos like me who enjoy riding in more of a pretzel position, Continental GT. That's it, guys. I'm Alex. Peace.